Hello there and welcome back to my channel. They say April showers bring May flowers, and apparently also get ready for the month with me vlogs. I am recording this on Earth Day, so technically there's still about a week left in the month of April, but I really like when these vlogs go up before the month ends so that hopefully they inspire you to do a little bit of planning to get ready for the new month. Exciting news, I have some Texas teaching certificate updates to share. I have some new products available, including the 2024-2025 digital teacher planners. We've released them early this year. And as always, along the way, I will sprinkle in some current favorites, and we will end the vlog with my monthly reflection and planning page. Before I share the Texas teaching certificate updates, I know that's what y'all are here for. I did want to show you, I hung these pictures in our little entryway and they just make me so happy. These are all pictures that Billy and I have taken on recent trips, and I just had them printed at CVS and then got the cheap frames on Amazon. I also made a little collage of the pets upstairs in the loft, so I'll show you what that looks like. But it's the little things, you know, that just bring you joy. All right, now on to things that you care about, my Texas teaching certificate updates. If you have no idea what I'm talking about and you're like, wait, you're getting certified to teach in Texas, what's going on? Are you going back to the classroom? I will link a video for you where I go over all of that. So go watch that video first. When we last spoke, because this is speaking, right? I was waiting on my old district to submit 2 different forms in order to verify my experience so that I could get exempt from certain exams. So initially, when I submitted my application, I received a letter saying, here are 3 different tests that you have to take, but I knew once those papers were submitted, I would get exempt from at least some of them. We'll come back to that. So fast forward about 2 weeks, my district did finally submit those forms, but what was strange is I think one went through before the other. So initially I got a letter from TEA saying, sorry, we can't accept this, you still have to take the test. And I'll be honest, my heart just kind of sunk and I was like, I don't feel like dealing with this. So I procrastinated. I was like, this is a problem for future Michelle.
Do not test my politeness.
It worked in my favor because then about a week later, I saw that the second form, I guess, finally went through and was processed, and I received a 3rd letter saying, okay, you are exempt from 2 of the tests, but you still have to take the Science of Teaching Reading, which is exam 293 here in Texas. And I knew I was going to have to take that test regardless because it is required for every educator, I guess, in the state of Texas as of January 2021. So I knew I was going to have to take that test. But in this case, procrastination worked out because I didn't register for tests that I ended up getting exempt from. So in the letter, it linked to, I have to read this because otherwise I'm not going to remember what it was called, the Texas Educator Certification Examination Program website. That gave me all the information about the exam, how to register. It was very easy to register. You basically put in your zip code, it will show you the closest places near you, and from there you can choose dates. You do have to pay $136, although after taxes and fees, it was like $139.82, I think. So more money, but it's fine, everything is fine. And there were also information about the test and practice questions, all of that jazz. Now in true Michelle fashion, I said, all right, I'm gonna register for this like day after tomorrow, okay? Received a letter on Tuesday night, registered to take the exam on that Thursday morning. So one day to prepare because I didn't wanna overthink it. I am someone that suffers from paralysis by analysis. So I needed to just force myself to take it. Plus, I'm kind of on a short timetable because of other things I have going on. I'm traveling and I knew if I waited, it would be like June before I took the test. So after registering, I went on the website to see how the exam is structured, and I learned it was 90 selected response questions, so like multiple choice, and 1 constructed response question, which is an essay. And I read through a couple of practice questions, but obviously my time was limited in terms of preparation. But I recorded clips right before and right after I took the exam. So I'm gonna insert those so that you can hear my thoughts. All right, I'm about to head out and take my test. I'm definitely nervous. I haven't slept well the past 2 nights, basically since I registered for the exam. And I think it's because I haven't taken a test like this in 10 years. When I took the 2 praxis tests to get certified to teach fresh out of college, I didn't study for them, but the information was all fresh from just going through the classes. Whereas this, because it is reading instruction focused, I'm not the most confident, if I'm being completely honest, because teaching reading has just never been my forte, and I haven't done a sit-down multiple choice written exam in 10 years. So I'm just gonna do the best that I can. I have eaten a good breakfast. I've dressed in like comfy layers. And as I used to always say to my students, donut stress, it's just a test. I used to give them a little donut hole on testing days. Ooh, donuts, maybe I'll get a donut after. I definitely have that post-exam brain where it all just feels like a big bowl of Jell-O up there. You are given a maximum of 4 hours and 45 minutes to complete the exam. Plus there's a 15-minute kind of onboarding going through the directions process. I went back to take the exam just before 10 o'clock. I think it was about 9:45, and I finished around 1:05. So if I can still do math, like 3 hours and 20 minutes-ish, but that's including the directions. So probably about 3 hours for the actual exam. Overall, I think I feel okay, but I didn't come out of it going, oh yeah, I definitely passed. I'm like, we'll see. The constructed response at the end where you are writing out an essay, it said 400 to 600 words and mine was like 900, which probably is not a good thing. It means that I rambled, but there were questions that I flagged that I had to go back and look over. There were some that I was unsure about, but then there were others that I know I got right, so time will tell. Now, because I took the exam between April 15th and April 28th, I think is the other cutoff, I will get my score report on May 10th. They kind of do them in batches. I know I need a 240 out of 300, which is 80%, and we shall see. Hopefully, I will have an update for you in the next monthly Get Ready With Me vlog. If I do pass, fingers crossed, keep your fingers crossed for me, then I just have to apply for the single year certificate, which I think is another $52. But I will keep you updated. I just wanted to share kind of where we were at in the process. Now, if you have been following along, you already know that I have been setting a goal for myself each month in the year 2024.
I only have one goal today, to make one kid like me.
My March goal was to get certified to teach in Texas, which is ongoing. It's a work in progress, as we just discussed. My April goal was to do 30 days of what I called love deposits for Billy. So it's this analogy of if your relationship is a bank account, you want to be making more deposits than you are withdrawals. And a love deposit is just a token of appreciation or a way to show the other person that you love or care about them. And I knew that April was going to be a very busy month for Billy, and I wanted to be intentional about our relationship and just making sure that he knows how much I love and care about him. So once again, in true Michelle fashion, I kind of planned out little things that I could do each day, and I had a list, and then I would kind of assign the things to different days of the month depending on what made sense with our schedules and whatnot. But I wanted to share just a few of the things that I did for inspiration in case you have someone in your life that you want to do this with. So I kicked it off April 1st. I could not sleep that night. We'll come back to that. But I decided that morning, since I was already awake, I would go get him breakfast from a little local coffee shop. That way he could take it with him to work. I got him some soft foods, albeit a pudding and yogurt, because Billy is doing Invisalign and he was getting new trays and his teeth are usually sore after getting new trays. So I thought that that would be nice for him to have snacks. I would fill out little cards and put them in his backpack, and I'd like put it in his laptop so he'd find it randomly throughout the day. I made him his favorite meal of all time, home-cooked meal, which is chicken fettuccine Alfredo. Made it from scratch, first time ever. That turned out great. He was off on the day of the eclipse, so I made us brunch. I've been doing a lot of cooking. We'll come back to that as well. I would make him like coffee to go in the morning, because usually he waits until he gets to work to have coffee. I actually mailed a card so that he would have to go to the mailbox and find a card that I mailed to him. I planned us a date night, and we went to a restaurant called Ember. Did I strategically pick that out? Yes, I did. And it was absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend. We would go for a walk outside and hold hands. I got him new protein bars to try. I put a treat on his pillow, the potato chip Reese's Cups. So good. We did a picnic. We walked to a nearby little park and sat and ate. And then I made him breakfast in bed. So just little things that take thought and intentionality and effort, but at the same time, they were very simple. So hopefully, I don't know, that inspires you to do that with anyone. It doesn't have to be a significant other. It could be a family member, a friend, someone that you just want to make sure that you are valuing your relationship. So moving on to the month of May, my May goal is to learn how to drive a stick shift, because I've never really had the opportunity to learn, because I've only ever had automatic cars. My parents are gonna teach me, most likely my dad. The issue is we need to get our hands on a manual car, and we're struggling to find rental cars that are manual. So that is on my to-do list for the next couple weeks. I've gotta reserve a rental car of some kind that is manual transmission so I can learn how to drive a stick shift. But the good news is, at least according to my dad, it should be a one day and done type of goal, which is what I need, because May is gonna be a busy month. You'll see. All right, let's move on to some current favorites. 2024 has been the year of Chef Michelle. I have been cooking a lot more and absolutely loving it. One thing that has really helped with that is having all of my recipes and cookbooks right on my iPad, because I have this case with a keyboard, but it will allow my iPad just to kind of sit up like this. And so I keep it in the kitchen, and it's nice and convenient to utilize and reference. I have two main sources for recipes, at least lately, that I've been loving: LILLIE Eats and Tells and Oh Snap Macros. They both have websites with tons of free recipes, but then they also have paid cookbooks. Oh Snap Macros is a physical cookbook. I have it up there. And then LILLIE Eats and Tells has some digital cookbooks, which are really convenient for pulling up on my iPad. So I have all of the cookbooks just in the Books app on my iPad, and then I can easily reference them. I can bookmark pages, which is convenient. So the two LILLIE Eats and Tells cookbooks that I have are One, and then One More Time, which these are both cookbooks full of recipes that utilize one pot, pan, skillet, whatever. So it's super easy, convenient, and they're all very macro friendly, which just means a good balance of protein, carbs, and fats. So I will link all of that information down below if you want some easy recipes that are also healthy, at least what I consider healthy. Everyone has a different definition. Other cooking related things. Now, these are gonna look gross. I clean them, I swear, but you know how things are. Once they go in the oven, they just eventually get stained. But these are silicone baking mats just from Amazon, and they sit on your baking trays. So rather than reusing or using foil and not being able to reuse it, these are reusable because they clean off and your food doesn't stick to them, and they come in 3 different sizes, so they fit all of your trays, and I love them. Also, I recently got these silicone food covering lids, I guess is what you call them, but it's just this round silicone piece. But what I love is when I prep veggies and things in advance of dinner, I can just put it all in a bowl and then put this over top rather than using plastic wrap. And obviously I have bowls with lids, but I'm talking the bowls that I'm gonna serve dinner in. So in order to save dishes, I'll cut up bell pepper, put it in a bowl, put this lid over it, put it in the fridge, and then that way I don't use saran wrap and I can reuse that bowl later on. So These are washable, whatever, it's silicone, just like the mats. Both of these, Amazon, I will link them. I also have been loving Goodles, okay? What are Goodles, you may wonder? They are boxes of pasta, okay? I had heard about Goodles and I was like, I don't know. I'm not into all of these like higher protein pasta things, like what's the one that's really popular? Banza, tried Banza, hated it. So I was skeptical. Decided to try Goodles, absolutely love them. And did I then go on a mission to find all of the flavors? Yes, I did. So I don't currently have the Down the Hatch. It has like hatch green chilies in it, so good. But some of the other flavors I have, Here Comes Truffle, Twist My Parm, which is Asiago and Parmesan with spirals. Hey Hey Elote, which is street corn mac with cotija cheese. We have Mover and Shaker, which is Cacao Pepe inspired mac. And then Smoky Doki, which is gooey Gouda mac with a touch of smoke flavor. Now, I find these right at H-E-B, which is our local grocery store chain here in Texas. You can also get them at Target. I'm sure other places as well. You can get a variety pack on Amazon, but they're really, really good. And I love to then just add additional things into it. So I use this as the base and I'll add, like, for example, Here Comes Truffle. I'll add in like mushrooms and chicken and other things to make it into a meal. But they're very, very good. If you have not tried them, recommend. The last thing that I've been loving, and I was so skeptical, are these root beer packets for your drinks, okay? I love all the fruit flavored drink packets. I've told you before, I mix them into yogurt, but I also will just drink them. And when I saw root beer, I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Love root beer, but powdered form to add to water, it's not gonna do it for me. It's not gonna be carbonated, it's gonna be weird.
This is only weird if you make it weird.
But I decided to give it a try. They're so good. It tastes just like root beer, and I actually love that there's no carbonation in it. And it's, you know, sugar-free. Now, are there chemicals in it? Yeah, I'm sure, because I don't know how to pronounce a lot of the ingredients. But I don't care about that. Life is about balance, and these make me happy. Again, I get them just at H-E-B. They're like $1, but you can also get them in a big bulk pack on Amazon, which I recently did. I think it's 12 boxes of 6, so 72 packets. I have a whole stash of them in my pantry. But if you like root beer, just grab yourself a box, give it a try. Thank me later. Now let's do our book check-in. I'm on a mission to read 52 books this year, which is essentially a book a week, but I set monthly goals. So for the month of April, I wanted to read 4 books. I actually read 6, go me, and I might even read another one within the next week. Total, I'm at 21 for the year, so I am ahead of schedule. I kind of cheated this month though. Not really, but I purposefully chose some books that were shorter, so I was able to get through them quicker. But in my last vlog, I mentioned that I was gonna finish Behind Closed Doors. I didn't love it. I wanted to. Valerie, I'm so sorry, because I know Valerie gifted this to me. I realized I'm just not into thriller type books. It's not for me, but it's fine. I live and learn. Then on April 1st, when I couldn't sleep, because I mentioned not being able to sleep, I've always heard, oh, if you read a book, it'll put you to sleep. Well, I read this entire book, basically in the dark, just using the moonlight coming in from the window so that I wouldn't turn on lights, and I still couldn't fall asleep. But this was Emotional Intelligence, Happiness. I grabbed this for cheap at Goodwill. It was okay. I mean, I got a couple little nuggets from it, but each chapter is written by a different person. So I do like the different perspectives, but it's not one that I would necessarily say run out and grab. Then I read Make Virtual Meetings Matter. Again, this I think was a rushed publication when the pandemic hit, and I didn't really get a whole lot from it, but that's fine. Then I read Out of My Heart by Sharon Draper, which I was so excited for this. I will say I didn't love it as much as Out of My Mind. However, it is still just a really good book. I love Melody as a character. If you have not read Out of My Mind or Out of My Heart, highly suggest you grab them. I know a movie is being made, so that's exciting. I will definitely be seeing that when that comes out. Then I read Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, and not that it wasn't good, it's just I didn't get a lot out of it. And someone once in the comments said, well, that's probably because you're already pretty productive. And I'm like, that's probably true. But if you are someone that struggles with productivity, you would probably find this helpful. I just found it very repetitive. It didn't need to be as long as it did. I felt like it could have been 10 pages and gotten the same message across. Then I read The Energy Bus for Schools, which I actually got to be one of the endorsers for. Now, I read this before it was published, but it was a draft manuscript, so it wasn't finalized. So I wanted to reread it once it was finalized. I will say it's not so much for the average teacher, it's more so for like administrators or individuals at higher levels, like in the district, in terms of implementing this kind of system. But you know, it's a good concept, I think, for education. And then I just finished The Miracle Morning for Entrepreneurs. I have similar thoughts to The Miracle Morning. It was very repetitive to that. I didn't get a whole lot out of it, but it's fine. I read it. That being said, I do want to share a children's picture book that I highly, highly recommend. I'm not counting this as one of my books read for the year, don't worry. But The Collaboration Station by Shannon Olson, which I love all of her books. Every time she publishes one, I'm like, I don't know how she does it. Just her writing style and then the illustrations that are in it, which the illustrator's name is right there, are just, they're gorgeous. And I love her books so, so much. She is the author of A Letter from Your Teacher on the First Day of School, Our Class is a Family, Our School is a Family, A Letter from Your Teacher on the Last Day of School. They're all phenomenal, highly recommend. You can grab it on Amazon. I will link for you both my Amazon list of personal books as well as my Amazon list of teaching and classroom books down in the description box. All of the books I've been reading this year are on that list, as well as some of my favorite just education books. But also, thank you to all of the people in the comments that suggested I check out Half Price Books. In my last vlog, I went to Goodwill and was able to score books for really cheap. Half Price Books was phenomenal. I took a little field trip there, spent like 2 hours looking through all the books. It obviously was not as cheap as Goodwill, but they have a much wider selection, so you're able to find like specific books that you're looking for. And I have a haul of 10 different books that I grabbed. So these will be read in the coming weeks. I got The Genius of Athletes, and most likely I will read this in the next week because I compete in a powerlifting meet on Saturday, and I like to read sports psychology-based books leading into a meet. So got that. Think Like a Winner, 8 Strategies Great Minds Use to Achieve Success. This used to be called The Winner's Brain because I was struggling to find it on Amazon, and it's because it was called The Winner's Brain. Some of these were on my list. Some of them I just saw and they intrigued me. This was one of them. Great at Work, The Hidden Habits of Top Performers, The Happiness Advantage, Eat, Move, Sleep, Better Than Carrots or Sticks, Restorative Practices for Positive Classroom Management. I read this a long time ago, but I don't think I read it cover to cover. I like skimmed it, so I want to reread it cover to cover. The Happiness Project, I had heard this recommended a couple different places. The Future of Sports Nutrition, Nutrient Timing. Not that anyone else will care about that, but this is called The Dip. And then Drive. So those 10 books at Half Price Books, because of course I'm a math nerd and I wanted to know what is the comparison between buying them at the discount store versus getting them new on Amazon. So my total at Half Price Books for those 10 books was $76.39. A majority of them are hardcover. On Amazon, it would have cost $148.51. So it literally is like almost half price, which just makes me happy that the name came to fruition. So I think for the month of May, my goal is to read 4 more books. I got these 2 on Amazon. The Go-Giver, which this was recommended to me by my friend Anna, so thank you so much for recommending it. I'm very excited to jump into that one. And then also Sleep Smarter, because I really want to prioritize my sleep in the coming month, and I had heard this recommended, so we're gonna do these 2. I will also, on theme, probably read Eat, Move, Sleep. And then I think the last one I want to read is The Happiness Project. I just feel like that will be a good kind of balance for the month ahead, but I will keep you updated on my thoughts. All right, it is time to get in some movement. I'm on my walking pad in my office, and I thought we could chat about some new products I have available. Each month, I have been releasing these digital mystery puzzle templates and digital escape room templates that kind of fit the theme of the month. So my April digital mystery puzzle templates and digital escape room template are available in my DVD store. I will link them both for you down below. The April digital mystery puzzles, which these are just Google Forms that have animated puzzle pieces. So as students answer questions, it will fill in the puzzle pieces, and they're editable. So all you have to do is add in your own questions and answers. And it includes a tutorial video that shows you how to do that. It has a nice collection of kind of springtime themed ones. There's an Earth Day themed one, but they're great for even past April. You could use them into May. And then the April digital escape room template is Escape Mother Nature's Trap. Once again, even though it's kind of geared toward Earth Day, you could definitely use it just in the springtime in general. The digital escape room is also a Google Form template. It is already set up with the storyline, the animated images. Everything is ready to go. All you have to do is add in your own questions and answers, and they both include tutorial videos that show you how to do that. So those will be linked. The May ones will be coming out soon, so once those are available, I will link them for you as well. But in more exciting news, Bridget and I decided to release the 2024-2025 digital teacher planners a little early this year because we were getting so many emails from teachers who wanted to start planning for the year ahead. They're like, when is your planner gonna be available? Usually we wait until May 1st, but this year we did release it early. Now, if you wanna grab it on sale, are you listening? It's gonna be 20% off for the first 2 weeks of May. So from May 1st through May 14th, you can grab it 20% off. But I will link to the different options in the description box. We have it as tablet and also Google Slides, and then each of those is available in a landscape format or a portrait format. But if you are new to digital planning, Google Slides, it's pretty straightforward. You know, I've done plenty on Google Slides. And again, these both come with tutorial videos. But if you are new to using like a tablet for your digital planner, I wanted to quickly share with you how to import the planner into an annotation app. So if you're using a tablet, you need an annotation app. That is just an app that will allow you to write or draw or edit on top of a PDF. So if you're using a stylus like an Apple Pencil, that will allow you to do that. I personally use GoodNotes. I'm still using GoodNotes 5, but there is a GoodNotes 6 available. But I will link it for you, the website down below. You can choose the format that you want. My iPad is old. It's like a 2018 iPad. I need to upgrade. And I have the old Apple Pencil, but again, I will link those down below. Now, I'm gonna do a little screen recording just to show you how this works and how I get the planner into GoodNotes. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is get the digital planner, which is a PDF document, onto the device. So in this case, the tablet. Now, because I am using all Apple, I'm going to AirDrop it from my MacBook to my iPad. So I'm gonna AirDrop from my computer. So give me 1 second to initiate that. I'm gonna click iPad. It's gonna pop up. Okay, so from here, I'm going to click the little share button up at the top. And then I'm going to choose more. And then I'm going to choose GoodNotes. It's gonna open up my GoodNotes. It's going to insert in a copy. Okay, so now if I go back to my documents in GoodNotes, I've got my digital personal planner, which I've already been using, but then I should now have the other one as well. Okay, so now I have this option to import it as a new document. So I'm just gonna click import as a new document. And then I have the copy of the planner. So it's kind of loading all of the pages. And there we go. So now from here, I can reference all the pages. I can bookmark pages, duplicate pages, annotate on top of it, just like you've seen me do with the personal planner. Now, if you don't have AirDrop, or you're not using an iPad, whatever. Open up GoodNotes, and then where it says new, just click the plus sign, and then you're gonna choose import, and then you're just going to select that from your file. So whether it's in your Google Drive or you have it saved on the device, you can just import it from there. But I will have all of those links for you down in the description box if any of those things piqued your interest. And if you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I will do my best to answer it for you. And speaking of digital planning, you know I always love to end these videos by sharing my monthly reflection pages and then my planning page for the month ahead. So this is part of our digital personal planners, which the great thing about those is they are a one-time purchase. They are not dated, which means you can reuse it again and again and again. So you buy the planner once and then you can use it year after year. And each month has a reflection page and then also a planning page. So I love at the end of the month to sit down, reflect on the past month, and then kind of set my intentions for the month ahead. So I'm gonna move to the side so that I can plop up little pictures of my pages and you can follow along. Looking at my April summary. Now again, there's still a week left in the month, but I love the summary section. I just do a little bulleted list of some of the things that happened. So I finished my 4 books that were my goal within basically the first week of May. I mentioned the Goodles flavors, the solar eclipse, which that was also my best memory. It was just a really fun day. We were in the path of totality and Billy was off work. So we had brunch, we went outside, we watched the eclipse, and it's really cool because there's an elementary school nearby and you could hear all of the kids cheering. And I was surprised how dark it got, like our solar lights all came on and I was able to get a really cool picture. So that was a cool day. I wasn't super into it. Like you saw a lot of hype on social media and I was like, yeah, this is gonna be lame. And then it actually was pretty cool. But we also reorganized the garage and got some more storage. I'm gonna wait to show you that because it's still a work in progress, but we're making progress. There was this crazy hailstorm one day. Actually, there were 3 different hailstorms in the same day, but the worst of it was when I was driving home from the gym and I survived despite the highway being at a dead standstill. So that was good. I got those products done. I mentioned that date night at Ember Kitchen, which was so, so good. I started eating more radishes and I know this sounds ridiculous, but it's a new food for me. I mean, I've had radish before, but I've never bought it at the store. And so I've been buying radishes and I'm very proud of my culinary knife skills. They're not real culinary knife skills, but I was able to like slice them super thin and I've been using them in recipes more. I've pickled them, I've made them into like radish chips. It's just been a lot of fun. I got my Wordle for the first time on the first try on April 19th. My word is always raise. That's what I start with. And that was the word on the 19th. I was so excited. I screenshotted it. We hung those new pictures that I showed you. I took the Science of Reading exam, tried some new recipes. So I did a Mexican street corn skillet from Lillie Eats and Tells. That was very good. I did this brown sugar spiced pork tenderloin that turned out phenomenal. And then the pork tenderloin was in a 2-pack. So then I made this like jalapeno cilantro cauliflower rice bowl. I did end up burning my hand because the pan, when I took it out of the oven, I forgot that it was hot. So after I took off the oven mitt, I then went to grab it and burned my hand, but we've recovered nicely. And I left a spot open because hopefully I will get to add something about my powerlifting meet there. But I mentioned having some challenges with falling asleep. So that's gonna be something I really tried to improve in the month ahead. And I haven't been as social as I probably should be. So that's also something I want to improve. But ongoing projects, we have the Germany trip, which is coming up in May, and then that Texas teaching certificate, May YouTube videos, all that good stuff. In terms of what I want to start doing, I want to start consuming more Spanish content, meaning like shows and movies with subtitles, because I've heard that that can really help with like the language learning and retention and whatnot. And then trying to initiate more conversations with strangers, because I will think of compliments for people like, oh, you know, that person, their hair looks really nice today, or I love their glasses. And I never say it. I just think it in my head. So I need to do better about actually saying it. But I'm gonna keep practicing my Spanish on Rosetta Stone. Been doing my daily stretching and theragunning, that's been great. And then I've been waiting to respond to emails until later in the day. I will still check them in the morning to make sure nothing is urgent, but I don't respond until later. And that's been really great for my productivity. But I need to stop drinking caffeine so late because I will be some days consuming caffeine at like 8 p.m., which is not good. And I know that that affects my sleep. And then letting tasks linger longer than necessary. Like sometimes I just kind of am bopping around not being as productive as I should be. So now looking at my May planning page for the month ahead, I mentioned it's gonna be a busy month. Billy is gonna be out of town for a few days. He has this big gala for work. And then we are going to Germany after that. We're gonna be gone for like 10 days. So that's gonna take out a big chunk of time. And then I'm doing some PDs, some in person, some virtual. So I need to make sure I'm proactive and get stuff done in advance. But I've gone ahead and outlined the books I'm gonna read, the products I need to do, things I need to follow up on, and I'm excited. I feel like it should be a good month, but hopefully you enjoy these get ready for the next month with me vlogs. I'm gonna keep doing them, I think, for the rest of the year, because if anything, it's nice to look back on and it helps hold me accountable. But if you did enjoy it, please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel out, and hit the subscribe button and notification bell. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. It's just a way of telling YouTube that you enjoy my content, which hopefully you do if you've watched this far. I appreciate you so, so much. As always, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive pants on, and I will catch you in the next one.